Oh, yeah.
Oh. Oh.
I don't remember those smelling that
This one burns.
Are you sure it's smelling salt?
Yeah, that one was more intense than with Jack, dude. Oh. Sweet. All right, folks. We are back with another episode of Let's Talk Snowboarding. But today is a special episode because we have a master instructor skier in the booth. We have Charity Russell join us. Charity, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Thanks for having me. And I don't know about the master part, but thank you.
I would say like you're up there. Like you've always been the staple up in the locker room up at Schweitzer. So we got to give the props where it's due, for sure. And in the producing side and on the ones and twos, Josh Nishimoto, aka Niche, as always. How are we doing, Josh?
So good.
Sweet. Charity, you made the migration from Sandpoint down here today. What were you doing, and what's been going on this beautiful, 72-degree weird day we're having right now?
Yeah, first of all, I have to say, starting out here, you and I did not plan to dress alike.
Yeah, right.
We didn't, coordinate our outfits, but we did.
Yeah. It's a
and we're both wearing sandals.
nice a light flannel. Yeah, it's like the light flannel,
right?
Nice pants
Yeah.
and some sandal day. Like we got, 72
Ball
degrees
cap,
is crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do have to say that. And then secondly, I just came down to, made the big old drive down out of Sandpoint to go to Spokane Alpine Ski Haus. Shout out to them. I'm picking up some new skis today. I have a sentimental week this week. I took my last turns yesterday on my original teaching skis. When you're in the instructor world, you have a specific set of gear that you teach on. And this set of skis was 8 years old and brought me through, 4 of the certs that I have. And just sentimental day. So that's why I'm in the big city.
Yeah.
Hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, I don't make it over to Spokane very much, but where is the ski house in Spokane?
Oh, is it on? It's on off of Freya. Is
Okay.
that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Freya.
Yeah, they got 2 locations, but that's the original.
Yeah, I only know
Original
the old Shred Sports, now called Solnick's.
Oh yeah,
Is like new ownership or something like that, but up there off of is that Division, I think, like up in North Spokane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't venture over there too much. I stay in Coeur d'Alene at Sandpoint pretty much over here in Idaho. So yeah, but that's cool.
Yeah, you'll have to check them out. Those guys, Rachel and Drew, and they own it, and Ian.
And is
they
that
took care of us.
is that the same ski house that's in Sandpoint?
No, that's not the same one.
Different time. Okay.
Yeah.
Different companies. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take good care of us instructors over there, and
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice. And you were selling, you said they were Nordicas, right?
Yeah, I have my original ones were Nordica Santa Ana's, and then I decided to stick with those and just get the newer version. This time with carbon instead of the metal, so they're a little lighter and
Okay.
flex a little more. And
Let's talk about that. How talk about some of the differences between that pair that you just, got rid of and your new pair. Like, how crazy is the technology for you? Like, what does it feel like these days? Is it just like insane?
well, I'm still experimenting, and I guess they did more of the carbon metal in some of the skis coming through COVID. Actually, it was when I was, visiting with Ian, the technician. A lot of people were wanting to get on snow sports and they hadn't, and on skis, and I think boards, but I'm not quite certain. And they wanted something lighter that they could maneuver. So that technology's been around for just a little bit. But again, I'm not quite certain. This is my first time trying it out. So
it's called Let's Talk Snowboarding, but we're going to dive into some techie ski stuff today because I literally haven't been on skis since I was like 8 years old. I actually rock ski blades for the longest time. So, so the little short guys. But, here's a question for you. Do you get your boots heat molded?
No, I have not yet.
Okay.
But I have had a few of my friends who have, and they love it. I just haven't gone that far. It gets a little pricey, and
yeah. I was, I have a relationship with Ski Shack in Hayden, and Ren up there, and him and I are good buds. And we had a lot of clinics. These companies will come in and they'll, do demos and hand out swag and just kind of talk about everything. But one of the ones was Solomon Skis. And so their boots, I guess their boots everyone swears by their boots right now, the Solomon boots. And they were talking about like the heat molding and all this stuff. And they have a machine in the back that does this, and it takes hours and all this process. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy, because literally, like, as snowboarders, I've never done that. But I hear that you can heat mold your liners and all this kind of stuff. And but yeah, just kind of talk about like so your setup right now is you got the Nordicas, but what boots are you rocking?
I actually wear a K2 boot by K2, which I'm also switching over. I'm not sure what I'm going to get yet. I have about a 90 flex. I want something with a little bit more flex.
Okay.
So I can, perform more in the powder specifically.
Nice.
But,
and do you have different pairs of skis for different conditions? Like, do you have just one pair, or do you have like some fat POW skis and some groomer skis? Yeah,
I've graduated just recently in the last few years to have a pair of fat powder skis, which are about 102 underfoot.
Okay.
And the Blizzards, the Shivas. And then I have a tour binding on them. And so I'm hoping, I haven't yet, but I want to dip more into, tour skiing, outback skiing, and learn a little bit more about navigating through avalanche territory and finding some of those safe friends that I can trust, that would have my back as I start to learn more stuff and come off the slopes, as a more of a tour than a instructor.
Yeah.
So, and then I have a pair of carving skis, back to the days for me, back to the 70s and 80s where our skis were originally skinny. We didn't have, these all mountain skis that are fatter, like anywhere from 88 to 102 underfoot. And, the original carving skis are like, like anywhere from 65 to 75 underfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a couple pairs of fun skis. But for the most part, as instructors, we have that gear, right? That's, that one solid pair or board that we can do most anything on, easy to maneuver around kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so, then I have those teaching skis. So.
Yeah, definitely. And you were talking about the backcountry, like that's something that I don't have my full setup yet. I'm just kind of that early season inbounds or late season at Schweitzer, and I used to skin up Mount Hood because Mount Hood has always been like on the Magic Mile, it's like just a gradual, you know what I mean? It's like inbounds is super chill and stuff like that. So my program back then was sometimes I would get up super early before my shift to instruct at Mount Hood at Timberline. I get my split board out and just walk the mile up and just ride back down. But I would like to get into the backcountry because I have lots of friends, like we were talking about Jack earlier.
Right.
And now he's diving into it, and he's really into it. And there's people like, my friend Cruz.
Right.
Robles up at Schweitzer, who's a big time backcountry guy, and his brother's staff, and just a lot of people. Like we were talking, like Stefano is big into the backcountry.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to have like that group to go out there, whether it be snowboarders or skiers, and be safe and have the knowledge and have people that you're comfortable with, because that's like the key, right? Like people that have been out there that kind of know what they're doing is always good to be with.
Right. And that, will have your back, that will care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, let's take it back a little bit. Charity, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Sandpoint.
Very cool.
Yeah, I was born and raised there. I grew up skiing at Schweitzer. And I'm really going to age myself now, but back in 1975, I had one of those dads that, back in the day we skied ankle to ankle. It was just like that beautiful swish. And he literally, we followed him around. He was the modern showcase of what it was like to ski at the time, had one cigarette in a hand with a dangling pole, and we just kind of followed him around.
Nice.
It was the good old days. And to give you even more of a picture of what I grew up in and around in the mountains of Idaho, my mom was born and raised there as well. So she would often take us, she's from this big redneck family. She'd often take us to the family farm and, give us a horse, a bit, and a bridle. And we rode bareback, and she would say, let us loose on 300 acres. And, she would say, don't tell your dad and don't chase the steer in the field, right?
Yeah.
And then I would go with my dad. He was a foster kid out of Santa Ana, California, and he was a surfer boy who taught himself how to ski. So he would let us at the time. I think Schweitzer had about was close to 2,000 skiable acres back in those days.
Okay.
And he turned us loose on 2,000 acres and said, don't tell your mom and meet me for lunch kind of thing.
Nice.
So it was kind of how I grew up. And then we left the Idaho mountains in 88, and I finished school down in Phoenix, Arizona. So right to the desert, and married and had babies, and it was just this big, huge life shift.
Nice. What what was your college in Arizona?
I actually went to a community college, a
Cool.
couple, Mesa Community and Rio Community.
Okay, down in
Out
Mesa.
there. Yeah, in Mesa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've taken many flights down
Okay.
to Mesa before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My high school basketball coach was from Lake Havasu City.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where he went to high school, and then went to college at BYU, Mormon family. But we took my sophomore year of high school, we went to Tucson for the
Okay.
Lute Olson basketball camp at
Nice.
University of Arizona. One of the coolest things I've ever done,
Right.
being on that campus and being in there. But I've also been down for bowl games. My cousins have played. They went to school in Iowa State, and so my mom's side of the family is from Iowa. So
Okay.
a couple bowl games down there at ASU at
Yeah.
Sun Devil Stadium, and then some basketball games too. So it's always cool to get
Nice.
down to the nice sunny days, especially when it's like New Year's and it's like 80 degrees outside, and
Yeah.
it's just gorgeous and clear skies, and
It's perfect
and
sunny
you're leaving.
weather.
Yeah, you're leaving the really cold Northwest to go
Yeah.
down and have some fun and get into the sun. So
Yeah.
Arizona's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've always liked it.
You can start your base tan in the winter down
Right.
there. Yeah.
Yep. And I was always amazed, like, whenever I would be on the freeways down there, how, like, organized and how the road system is so good, like, in Phoenix and stuff like that. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, my gosh, dude, like, 10 lanes wide.
Oh, yeah.
Just, like, nobody on the roads, like, and if there is traffic, it's just, like, free-flowing most of the time and stuff. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
they planned for this. Like,
Hot Takes is sponsored by Ski Shack. Ski Shack has been local, family owned and operated since 1976. Go in there today and get yourself dialed, whether it's on a board or skis. Ski Shack has what you need. And visit them at 9437 North Government Way in Hayden, Idaho, and get yourself dialed out.
it's pretty cool.
They did, but it's getting crowded.
People like to, I
Yeah.
mean, people are moving there, just like people are moving
Yeah.
all over, like, the west side of the country.
Yeah,
in my
exactly.
opinion.
Yeah.
You were kind of talking about you've been at Schweitzer since '75.
Yeah, well, growing up as a kid, so I started skiing there in 75 and well into my teens. But I wouldn't officially come back to Schweitzer and live until, it was like 2017,
Okay.
I think. 2016
Yeah.
is when I kind of showed back up on the scene again. I raised 3 girls down in the desert, and I did teach them all how to ski up at Snowbowl, Flagstaff, and
Let's go.
Sunrise in Greer, Arizona. But I didn't get to ski much. I was a stay-at-home mom, then I was a professional mom and a single mom. I did all the mom things, and we didn't get out of. It was a lot of. It was expensive. It's a lot to trek out of the desert to get to the mountain, and then all the kids and gear, and so I missed it. And it would be around 2016 that I actually became an empty nester. So I suddenly had adult children. And then I was also divorced all at the same time. So it was this new, crazy, weird season of my life. And I wanted to get out of the office. I was tired of working in the office. I wanted to teach kids again. I used to own my own private preschool when my kids were little. So I missed that and was like, how can I combine the 2 passions of teaching again and going back home to the mountains? So it just popped into my head. It was skiing. Like that was the first thing I wanted to do was go home and ski, right?
Yeah.
I just want to get out of Phoenix, out of the desert, out of the city and go home. And so, I just started researching what does it take. I didn't know any ski instructors or snowboard instructors. I didn't. And so, I just went home and I picked up my first pair of Nordicas and started skiing Schweitzer. And then I went into... I look back now and think how brave or maybe even how pompous I might have acted when I walked into the snow sports room at the locker room up at Schweitzer. And I was like, hey, I want to meet your director, and I want to know who it is. I want to introduce myself. I want to come back here and teach someday. And of course, it was Nicole Hampton at the time. And
That's funny.
Right? And she's just so sweet. We love her to death. And for all of us, she's been a mentor in some kind of a way. So she was like, yeah, that'd be great. She was a little taken back. And she's like, well, let's go ski. So of course I was nervous. I was like, oh great, she's going to ask me to ski like a black diamond, and I had just gotten back and I could ski very well, but I hadn't been dipping into some of the harder stuff yet. And so I was like, she's going to ask me to ski a black diamond. And we ended up going down a blue. And, we ended up going down Midway was our little run together. And that was it. And
that's a good spot.
I was like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah. It's a good learning terrain right there. And just like a nice, easy, like crispy groomer. But
right.
Yeah, it's
the
so
basic.
I think you and I, I got here same year as you.
Yeah.
So we both kind of made it. I had been teaching for a little bit down at Timberline, right? But this was my first season at Schweitzer, and my boss at Timberline, Steve, he was like, hey, you need to contact Terry if you want to teach up in the area that you're moving to. You're leaving here at Timberline. Right. Contact Terry McLeod. And so Terry and I had a beer at Moontime.
Okay.
And he was like, hey, I'm not the director anymore, but I'm still heavily involved. Mm-hmm. And I'll vouch for you with Nicole. It's her first year.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. And then I met Nicole and I was like, I like it, dude.
Right.
I like this chick. She's super chill. She's awesome. And the vibes were just all time.
Yeah.
Those first, 2 or 3 years.
Right.
When we first got there. So
it
was so much fun.
It was so much fun. And was Josh there before us?
Oh, yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
I thought I was around for a little while.
Before that. Yeah. There was a bunch of us that came on at that same year.
Josh was on a crazy program back then. Josh was had just recently graduated, right? From Moscow. And you were...
No. Actually, I was master's degree of Cal State Long Beach.
That's right.
And then I moved back to Sandpoint and then walked in and, Terry was the director at the time. It was 2011, I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
And that's when Nicole interviewed me, and the questions I was not expecting how easy to answer all the questions were and how awesome it was and easy it was to get hired. So.
Yeah. And but I was kind of speaking on when I met you, you had that marketing job at U of I.
Oh yeah. I was
you
working
were
at U of I when
you were making that
were
commute.
There.
He was weekends. He was coming up each week, driving all the way from Moscow on a Friday.
Yep.
And leaving Sunday night.
Yep.
And I remember the first time I met Josh, he was on a snow skate right behind the locker room.
Nice. Yeah.
And I think I can't remember who told me. It might have been Matt Smart. Yeah, it was Matt Smart. Matt Smart was like, "Oh, you like freestyle snowboarding? This is your guy. Like, this is the guy you need to hang out with." So the rest is history from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then meeting you and all the cool people, man. Like
Eli came on, I think, the same time that we did.
And that's cool because Eli's from my area.
Yeah.
He grew up in Southern Oregon, like literally like 50 miles away from me, not very far.
Right.
So we bonded over that. And then, from Sam
Oh, yeah.
to Jimmy Z.
Yeah, some seasoned.
Oh, man.
instructor. Yeah.
And just like all the cool old timers that were still around.
The old
and
cool
stuff.
cats.
Yeah. Yeah. The end of day whiskey.
Pendleton peeps.
Yeah, on the back, right by the windows, like,
Right.
and Nicole would always come out after she was done with her work and be like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
and that was what it was all about. And the morning meetings were always the best.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to get there early and
Yeah.
enjoy and like understand what was going on for the day and just
Yeah.
kind of talk to each other. So
And share those wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
put
Good times.
on some ski and snowboard movies on the TV in
Yeah.
the lunchroom. So yeah, get the vibes going early.
Yeah. Exactly.
So kind of speaking on that, we kind of gone over, you made your way down to Arizona and kind of, started your family down there and
Yeah.
stuff. One of my favorite towns that I've ever been to is Flagstaff.
Yeah.
But I've never been to Snow Bowl.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about like how, taking your kids up to that area to teach them how to start to ride. How did that go?
Well, again, back to sentimentality. My dad, having taught me here at Schweitzer, and we never got to ski in the desert together. And he would pass. I was really young when he passed. I was just starting my family, and so as my kids got older, it just became one of those natural things. Like, I want to hand this down. I want to hopefully hand the love for this down, and at least introduce the kids, right, and see what will stick and how often we can do this and stuff. So it was just heartfelt family moments where we could get up there to Flagstaff or Sunrise and actually ski together. And I had, just like in our lessons, I had I had the whole gamut of, my firstborn was like, bullet train, like, I'm doing this. Like, she wouldn't even listen to instruction. She's straight lining it and crashing, all the way to the youngest, who was like super cautious, but would listen to instructions, and my middle child in between, So it was just a fun experience to, hand something down that's a part of your heritage, a part of your happy memories, and to hand that over to your children. So it was a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great time.
We used to always pass through there whenever we were visiting my grandma in Oklahoma. On my dad's side, so we would take that route.
Right.
And we would always stop in Flagstaff, and I was just like, I was a little snowboard kid, and I remember I'll never forget this. We went into the snowboard shop. It was like a mountain biking snowboard shop down there, and I was obsessed with Camelback backpacks at that time. I was like, these are so cool. You can have water and stuff. And I bought my first ever Camelback backpack there, and I still have it today in my like backpack bin in my garage.
Right.
And I'll probably hand it down to my kids when they want to like start wearing backpacks for hikes and stuff. So
yeah. Speaking
I
of
love
that gear we can't let go of. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's tough. Like there's stuff that I'm just like, I'm not going to get rid of this. Like, maybe my kids will want it or something. But if they don't, then maybe I'll start to open it up and be like, okay, that's a yard sale item. But So 75 at Schweitzer looks a lot different than today at Schweitzer. How many buildings were around back then, if you can remember?
I know. Super hard to remember. I have obviously kid/teens perspective. But it's not even the original lodge, on the front side. They've rebuilt that lodge.
Yeah.
On the back side, one of the biggest things that sticks with me from my childhood is the Outback restaurant on the back bowl.
Yeah.
Right? That just happened 2 years ago. The Outback restaurant just turned 50th. They had their 50th anniversary. So they had these 50th travel mugs, coffee mugs that they were selling, right? And so just happened to be the same year that I turned 50. So I, bought the mug and just was feeling nostalgic and having that moment like where I at least got to be back here, as an older adult to be able to experience this because I felt like I missed so much in those in between years living in the desert. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely changed now.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
It's something, a lot of things have changed, but some things have stayed the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really, really cool. I mean, the village and like the surrounding area of the village has definitely changed.
Yeah.
But like you said, like Outback's still the same.
Yeah.
Stella still looks the same.
Yeah.
But speaking on 50-year anniversary, I got to mention this coming Saturday at Poochie's is the 40-year anniversary of the first snowboarder at Schweitzer. So they're going to have a party after the bank solemn down there.
Nice.
Like mid-afternoon. There'll be a DJ. Shout out to Mike Waldrop, one of the first snowboarders ever up at Schweitzer's, which is really, really cool. So it's like a celebration of, bringing snowboarding to Schweitzer back in the day. So
Yeah.
that's crazy to think like it's been 40
Yeah.
40 years
Since, you guys came onto the scene.
right?
Yeah.
What is that, like 1984, 85? Shoot.
Yeah, I have to say I was jealous because when I left the mountain, all of my teenage friends at the time were taking up snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like it was becoming that cool thing in the late 80s. It took off. So I have a lot of friends that are dual disciplined.
Yeah.
And I am jealous. It's like speaking a different language.
Oh, yeah.
It's very admirable when there's, our friends out there. You and I are only our own disciplines,
Yeah.
right? Snowboard and ski, but we have a lot of friends out there that are dual disciplined, and it's very admirable.
Have you ever step on a snowboard?
No, I haven't, and I have a lot of you have asked me to, and I think for me it's all about like if I'm gonna get hurt, I'm gonna do it skiing because I think, and also too because I'm older now, like it takes longer to heal, and I've been through a few surgeries and things already. It's like I feel more confident on the skis, but I desire to otherwise. So you never know. You might see me out there. Might have a change of heart.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm like kind of the same way. I mean, I couldn't snowboard my first day. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
But I was like so pudgy and just a little fat kid that I was like, I couldn't even put the bindings on and stuff. Like I would try and sit down and put them on, and it was just like I couldn't get back up, and I was like, this sucks. And so my mom was in a ski lesson at Mount Ashland at my home hill down in Southern Oregon. And so the afternoon, she had an all day, so she brought me on for the rest of the day. And I actually started sliding and stuff. And so I got addicted to just sliding on snow. Skied for a few years, ski blades, regular skis, did all that stuff. And then kind of took a break for a while after that. Did a little bit of snowboarding after that. And then I really didn't get back into it until about I used to go, a handful of times a year to go snowboarding, but 10, 12 years ago is when I actually got into working at the mountain.
Yeah.
So ski hosting up at Timberline was the first gig I had. And then switched over to an instructor, and then the rest is history. I just wanted to instruct.
Yeah.
So, but this is the first year I haven't instructed, which is and I know everything's kind of different now. How are the amenities? What do you, I know that the locker room has changed. You actually have lockers now, and you have a whole gear shed down the stairs and stuff. How's that been? What's that been like for you to see that change since you first came up to Schweitzer and was working at the ski school?
Yeah, it was very interesting to see that change happen. Schweitzer is still this very much, small town, down to earth resort, although we have some fancier stuff up there. We have that new resort building and restaurant that's fancier, especially for Sandpoint, period. And in our locker room, we've had some changes, which have been nice. We've all been, just putting our gear in literally milk crates, right? And so to have some real lockers, it was a little nostalgic. I've experienced the real locker room back at Copper Mountain when I first started my journey. But to have that happen in Schweitzer, it was like, oh, wow, this feels like high school. Because I went to high school where we literally had lockers in the hall, in the hall
too,
of
yeah.
this, right? So it was like,
Same here.
Right. So I was like, oh, we're in high school. I have a locker, So yeah, it's cool. And then to have our own gear room with, passcode and yeah, it definitely feels more professional. I love that word professional. Especially in our world, because some people don't think that we are professionals. And clean and organized and more space.
That's nice.
Yeah, especially for still being very intimate and small.
Yeah.
We got, I think we have roughly on staff, our department on the mountain is the biggest department, the snow sports ski and ride school. So we're at, I think 120 as far as our staff.
Wow.
Yeah, so when if you are able to even take a tour of that locker room, right, which is just us that are allowed in there, but it's small for 120 people to be coming and going.
Yeah. It's still a small space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
space doesn't change. It's just like, but that's cool. It's like, feels more organized,
Yeah.
I'm guessing. And
Yeah.
definitely if you can put the gear elsewhere,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
that
nice.
boot smell lives in a different place
Yeah.
now.
That's nice, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. The locker room doesn't smell like boots anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe at some point I'll be able to swing in through there and take a look at some point. That'd be kinda
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Josh, do you ever notice that when you buy tickets for a show, you get hit with all these hidden fees?
Yeah, for sure. I'm tired of being gouged with hidden fees.
Dude, I just discovered this, but now whenever I purchase tickets, I try to search for venues and artists that use Ticket Goat.
What's Ticket Goat?
Ticket Goat is the greatest ticketing software of all time. With Ticket Goat, promoters can expect hassle-free setup, zero obligations, and a revolutionary $1 ticketing fee for event attendees.
So we can say so long to hidden fees?
Dude, 100% zero hidden fees. With Ticket Goat, steep ticketing fees are a thing of the past. Ticket Goat's revolutionary ticketing software allows owners to create custom ticketing options, access to event reporting, and a digital QR codes for mobile ticket scanning, all with no commitments and transparent pricing.
Sick. That means event owners can keep their profits and ticket buyers can purchase tickets without being gouged.
Definitely. If you are in charge of ticket sales and want a fast and easy way to sell tickets, go to www.ticketgoat.com and join the herd today.
Sick.
Or maybe come back. We'll see. One
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, you should come back, man. We're building something pretty sweet. And yeah, with Ryan being snowboard supervisor, it was pretty cool this
Yeah.
year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely different, the program I'm on. Usually, you take your time. You get up to the locker room. You kind of just like get your coffee, chat for a
Yeah.
little bit, put your boots on, and, you don't have to be somewhere until a certain time. Or if you want to get out there early, which is also cool too. But
Right.
I feel like nowadays when I do go to the mountain, I'm very, I don't know, it's like kind of like business,
Yeah.
like I'm out there, like I'm, I get in the parking lot, boots are on in less than 5 minutes, gear's on in, less than 7.
Yeah.
And I'm out there to just like hit it hard on those days that I want to be there and also film and do the things that I'm kind of more interested in now, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool too. And,
Yeah.
it's definitely a change, but
Yeah.
it's tough sometimes because I feel like I miss that like camaraderie
Yeah.
with all the friends and the homies in the locker room, especially, like all the people that I've, become friends with since I moved up here.
Right.
It's like, you can still get out there with them, but, people are on kind of different schedules and stuff. So you just kind of have to, if you see somebody, and like the last day I was up there, I saw Mark Logan
Yeah.
just hanging out. And so I just went up to him and gave him a hug and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just going to go ride.
Right,
I don't have
right.
anything going on today. And I was like, can I come with you? And he's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so him and I hit lots of powder turns, and it's
Yeah.
always fun following Mark Logan around because he knows
Right?
every nook and cranny of that
Yeah.
mountain. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where are we going? He's like, I think I'm going to go to Misfortune.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Right?
And it just followed him, and it was like untouched
Yeah.
snow in there. And like he was like, if this is my last day, I'm pretty happy about
Right.
that.
Yeah, you gotta love that guy. Yeah, I think that was one thing that I wasn't prepared for, coming out of the office world and into this industry. I wasn't prepared for the culture that I would find in this new type of office, what we call the locker room, right? And especially as an adult, like we all have our own locker room experience, high school experience. But when I showed up and talked to Nicole and said, I'm going to come back and work for you, I'm going over here to Copper Mountain to do this training program, and I'm coming right back. And that's when I had found snow trainers, Tony Macri. He's a really great guy. They have a really great program. And I hunkered down in Copper Mountain and worked with a trainer named Phil Anderson and cleaned up. I knew how to clean up my 1975 skiing, ankle to ankle skiing. And
Yep.
I had no idea what kind of gear. I just knew I was on this all mountain ski. Like I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know the turn radius. I didn't understand what I was even riding on, right? And so he helped me bust out a bunch of my certs at Copper Mountain. And it was a really interesting program because their program mostly had attracted young people, young ski and board people. But that year was two of us old mountain moms. Like we were both empty nesters, both divorced, looking to, recapture our, dreams and reignite our adventures. And we show up to his program. I think it was just cute. Look on his face. He's like, okay. There was like two of us and then like four, young party rock stars, right? And we're like, hey, we need to learn how to ski the right way, you know? And we went all to get our certs. So we had a great time. We rocked it and busted out a bunch of our certs. And yeah, but I would go back and work for Nicole, and they hired me. And then my journey would really begin. I think I worked for her a season. And I ultimately, if you can believe this, I was actually skiing better than I could actually walk. So I had, and I say that a little flippantly, but literally my hip was starting to go out and I had no idea what was happening. I just knew something was wrong. And I had to check in with some doctors, and I think I even skied over in Alyeska, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can hardly walk, but the skiing is great.
Yeah.
And I would find myself at age 45, I would have to hunker back down in the desert with my mom as my caregiver. And 2 summers in a row, I had a hip replacement. I had to get another surgery on the other hip cuff and a ACL recon, and spend 2 summers learning how to walk in a row. My journey wasn't over. And I was an older, mom. And I was like, I want my active lifestyle back.
Yeah.
I can't be stuck in the desert. This is like way too humbling, it was depressing, just being in that point. But I found again, in the desert, I found new inspiration. I would literally, my mom would drop me off at PT, and I'd getting out, feeling like this old lady with a walker, but I was instantly inspired by a war veteran who was like just pumping it up the sidewalk with 2 prosthetic legs. And I'm like, literally, my mom and I are super close friends. I'm literally pushing her out of the way. I'm like, I'm going to do this. Look at that guy. I got to beat him,
Nice. I like that.
So that would be my journey back into the ski world and just chasing those dreams.
Yeah.
No matter how old you are or what happens, right? What comes your way.
Yeah.
And I would find out I didn't wreck my hips because of skiing. It was like congenital stuff that just kind of snuck up on me and stuff that I would have to, fix.
Cool.
Guys, I want to talk to you about a new sponsor that we have. So big shout out to our friends at Fine Brewed Cafe in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Whether you're gearing up for a powder day or winding down after a long ride, Fine Brewed has you covered with craft coffee, legendary mimosas, and a killer vibe. They're all about fueling adventures. connecting the community, and keeping you caffeinated for whatever the mountain throws your way. So next time you're in town in Coeur d'Alene, stop by Fine Brewed on Sherman Avenue, grab a cup, and keep chasing that stoke.
You had a full hip replacement?
Yeah, a
Holy moly.
total hip replacement. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, oh gosh, 6 years ago?
Okay.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years ago.
Wow.
There's amazing stuff they can do now, you know? Yeah, so.
That's awesome. And so, talking about your family, how many daughters? I know you you mentioned Alyeska,
Yeah.
which is Girdwood, Alaska,
Right.
which is the big resort up in Alaska.
Right.
So you have 3 daughters?
Yeah, I got 3 daughters, 2 of which stayed in the desert.
Okay.
One is a consultant up high in Wells Fargo. One is a beautician in the coveted Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And one is a welder in Eagle River, Alaska.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's worked on the pipeline in the past. She's gone out to the Russian River. Now they're all moms themselves. So it's kind of cool. So it's easier for me to go to them. So I spend a lot of time traveling to them in the desert or up to Alaska and hanging out and skiing and being the granny nanny.
You racking up some miles?
Racking up some miles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alaska miles? Or?
Well, flight miles there. I hope to drive that someday, but
Oh, yeah, the Dawson Highway.
Right, yeah.
I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about
Right.
traveling up that, and it looks really cool. I would
Yeah.
love to make that.
I know. Right?
I've told Chelsea about that. I'm like, hey, we should go to Alaska. And she's like, oh, you want to do like a cruise? I'm like, no, I want to drive through Canada and go all the way.
Right.
She's like, I don't know about that. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of intense, when you don't have services for like 200 miles.
Yeah.
And, but there's some really cool,
Yeah.
like really cool towns along the way in British Columbia and all
Hot
that
Springs.
stuff. And
Yeah.
just like nobody out there,
Right.
kind of out there, man. I would love to get up there. What have you fellow ski instructor Kim
Yeah.
is up there. Have you visited her yet in Anchorage?
Yeah. In fact, there's another little ski hill in Anchorage itself. It's a nonprofit. It's called Hilltop.
Yeah.
So Kim, one of our older Schweitzer instructors, moved up there, and she's higher certified than I, and actually one of my trainers and mentors. She works at that nonprofit Hilltop. Her and I have actually skied there together. It's really cute. They cater to a lot of school groups and other programs and stuff. Yeah, she's actually on the Alaskan Highway down to us. So she's going to be joining us this weekend as we start to kick off some of our girlfriend time and ski trip stuff.
Oh, yeah. You were talking, so that was something that we talked about before, the mics went on. You got some trips coming up. Where are you going? And
Right.
so Kim's going with you. Anybody else going to make the trip with you?
Yeah, a lot of friends, a lot of mentors and trainers, that have helped me through a lot of stuff. We ski together. You'll often find I'll post pictures of us here here and there, sometimes in our uniforms, on Schweitzer uniforms, sometimes in our regular ski garb. I like to call us the Yaya Sisterhood of the traveling skis.
Nice.
Right. And so, we're gearing up for three of us are going to roll out here on April 8th and head over to Brundage and McCall.
Okay.
Hang out for a couple days. And then Kim and some of the other ladies will head down and we'll all meet up in Sun Valley. We're going to do the PSIA Aussie Symposium.
Okay.
Over there in Sun Valley. And then the ladies are all going to head back to Sandpoint and I'm going to keep driving. I'm going to head down to Snow Basin right there just north of Salt Lake City.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Hang out with my new teaching skis and do my children's specialist too certification.
Very
and
cool.
See what's going on over there. I actually haven't skied in Utah. So
Whoa.
yeah,
okay.
I know, right? Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm excited just to kind of see what that's like. And it's always fun, right? To meet fellow people in our industry and see what the ski school is like and what the vibe is. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting out there more. You know, I've been to
Yeah.
lots of Pacific Northwest resorts, but
Right?
you know, there's still a lot on the bucket list, and you
Yeah.
know, hopefully the events with Mountain Vibes start kicking
Yeah.
off again, and we do them, you know, all across the Western United States and the East Coast, and
Yeah.
kind of get everywhere. Ellie, you know Ellie, right?
Ellie Matavlech. I always pronounce her name wrong.
So she's is she like on the pro team now or something?
Yes, she
Jeez.
is. Yeah, she used to work with us.
She did, yeah,
For us at Schweitzer.
a couple seasons, yeah.
Yeah, she's on the national team. So yeah, she's a good friend.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of her posts, and she's just she's everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
She's
to
having
see.
a fun time. Yeah,
Yeah.
now doing her new gig. And
I think that's where she belongs for sure.
it is. And it's also fun to see her come back. She comes back to Sandpoint in the summer and drives those big gravel trucks. She's another
That's right. Yeah.
woman of many talents.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
I always, whenever I see her, I try to talk to her about that, because her and I both are CDL
Right.
drivers.
Right.
So like she's done different stuff than I have, and I've done. So we always, whenever I've been able to sit down with her, I always try to pick her brain on stuff, because she does doesn't she do oh yeah, she does gravel trucks.
Yeah.
I have another friend that actually hauls heavy equipment to fires across the Western United States, which is kind of intense, like hauling on those like logging roads and hauling like a big dozer and stuff out there,
couldn't do
and the
it.
fires like right up the hill. Like, oh man, that's crazy. So yeah. Talk a little bit more about your group of ladies. You kind of started this moms who are instructors who ski and sometimes don't want to get out there, but you encourage them to, you know, go ski and be with each other. So that's really encouraging to see. I love seeing you guys get out there and rip.
Yeah, it's fun. Getting into this world of ski instructing, you know, the majority of my lessons are 85% mom and children.
Yeah.
And for most of us, I think for most of us, it's that way. That's just the way that the industry lends. And, you know, so even when I'm out there teaching kids, like I'm getting to know people's moms. And a lot of them want to be able to either keep up with their kids or ski a little bit better or faster definitely to enjoy it. A lot of them don't navigate themselves around the mountain by themselves. They feel like they need to be with somebody. So to be able to come and take a lesson and learn how to be in the outdoors by yourself and enjoy it is a big deal. Or I have a lot of moms that are coming back from an injury, you know, and they want to rebuild that confidence, gain confidence. I also get the classic, a lot of us do, the classic boyfriend or husband, like she needs to take a lesson and I want her to go faster and she needs to learn this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So that's always funny as well. So over time, I started a mom coaching blog just to encourage women that you can recapture your dreams and reignite your adventure no matter what age you are and no matter what it looks like. You don't have to be into skiing or boarding, right? There's lots of dreams out there. It's just a matter of like trying to figure out what you want to do and try to figure out how to dream again for some of us. And for some of us, it's try to figure out how to get back on snow and what that looks like, especially if I have younger kids or if I'm coming back from an injury. And I love your podcast because you ask, you know, us guests, you know, what's your origin story and how did you get into this? Well, that's also the number one question I get out there on snow, especially from these ladies, you know, especially when they learn like, oh, you're a mom, you have adult children. How did you get into this? How did you start teaching on snow? That's crazy. I would never think of that, you know, and so to be able to share with them, you know, that time, that season shift for me. And I feel like I should be singing the Scorpions song, Wind of Change, right? Nice. And to share that, you know, this is how it happened. And this is what I'm excited to share with you. This is the passion I'm excited to hand over to you and your kids. Yeah. You know,
because what we do is kind of gnarly. So like not many people do it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be skiing, snowboarding, mountain activities, like, so people are always interested that don't do it that often, that
Yeah.
are learning, like, how do you do this? Like, what
Right.
makes you tick? Like, I was like,
Yeah.
I get excited, man. I want to get up early.
Yeah.
I've always been a morning person, and what better way to spend your winter than to go mess around on the mountain on skis or
Right.
snowboard and
Yeah.
go fast and jump off stuff and
Yeah.
just get back to being a young kid, even though,
Yeah.
like I said, you see Mark Logan out there, 63 years old,
Yeah.
multiple surgeries in
Yeah.
the past few years, but it's still hard to keep up with him. And I'm 30 years younger than that guy.
Right.
And I'm like, holy crap, dude. Like, how do you just like go? And it's the same with like Marty,
Yeah.
and there's a reason why his nickname is the squirrel.
Right.
Like, he's just like everywhere. He darts all over the place. And it's like,
Yeah.
you like look up and he's like halfway down the hill way past you and he's waiting for you. And I'm just like, holy man, dude.
Right.
Like, so that's what is like that youth and like having that fun is what it's all about.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been definitely cool. So yeah, you're going on this ski trip coming up.
Yeah, and it doesn't
That's
end.
exciting.
It
Yeah.
doesn't end with Snow Basin, so I'll also then plow down into Snow Bowl Flagstaff.
Very cool.
If they have snow, I'm hoping to take some turns there.
I heard they got quite a bit of snow.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
see
Hopefully it
what
doesn't melt
happens.
off,
Yeah,
but maybe some fun spring laps.
right.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, cool. Josh, how we doing on time? Recording wise,
Yeah, it's pretty good. We got
what are we at?
where's the camera? So 53 minutes.
Nice.
53 minutes on the
Very
camera.
cool. I like that.
So,
Heck
and then we
yeah.
took a little bit of a break here and there, so it wasn't
Yeah.
crazy.
We're looking good. So yeah, you mentioned how you appreciate the podcast.
Yeah.
We've been chatting, and we're gonna run out, and I'm gonna show you all my gear for remote
Yeah.
setup. But I think that you speak very eloquently, like, and I think you have like an idea and a message of like what you want to do, like, so you're kind of interested in getting into the podcast game.
Yeah, I'm hoping to, again, to be able to encourage more moms,
Yeah.
To get out there. Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Reignite that adventure and dreaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you said you were out, you're staying at, what was it, like a ranch somewhere? Got a little spot out there that you're going to.
It's a good story. I currently rent from Deborah and Greg Rauka.
Oh, so you're out at that property. Okay. Yeah, that's sick property.
Another one of our ski instructors, and she's my mentor and trainer. And they have a great little farmhouse out, and I'm on the border of Sagal and, well, I'm considered Sagal, but Sagal and Priest River. Yeah, out there by the actual Priest River. It's just lovely. I have a little creek that runs by my back door.
Yep.
And
That was a good time a couple summers ago when I came up and did our preseason
instructor party.
get together. Yeah, that was so much fun. That's a beautiful spot out there.
Yeah.
It really is. Josh was there. Josh was there with
Yeah.
Kiki.
It was cool.
Yeah,
Me
it
and
was-
Kiki were there.
Very
Yeah,
awesome.
we've had some good times out there.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I love, like, when we mention all these people within the ski instructor and snowboard instructor realm. I've taken this season off, but all I have to do is just say, hey, Deborah, hey, Mark, hey, anybody.
Right.
And they're like, oh.
Exactly.
And they will talk to you for as long as they can talk to you to catch up and see how you're doing. And I always check in with them because, they're all good friends. They're all, very welcoming people and making sure everyone's having a good time. So,
yeah, I think that's an important thing to know, especially talking about the ladies that I go out there and slide with. It's not just us skiers, I got to ski or slide with Pippi and Gina this season, and just mixing those two disciplines, which are two different cultures in a way. It can be, but there's a lot of us on either side that are just more connected, and we know that we can talk to each other. We don't have to be just a skier or just a skier thinking, or, just a snowboard thinking, So that's opened up my world as well from where I began, with these two disciplines that are on opposite sides of the track and they don't really talk to each other, to come and hang out at Schweitzer, it's like, oh, we do talk to each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be these separate worlds. So it's been nice. And I've been trying really hard to like pick up on some of your guys' lingo, like just the slang words, because I'm always trying to be a cool mom and a cool grandma. So I'm like trying to pick up on those words and, learn a little bit, even though I haven't gotten on a board. So
How old are the grandkids right now?
oh, I have grandkids all the way from, I have a new grandkid that's coming.
Very cool.
Number 8 grandkid.
Congratulations.
Will come here in April, and then all the way up to 11. So mostly toddlers, but I have one that's
a cool
11. Yeah.
That's such a cool age.
Yeah.
Age range right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're still young and
Right.
having fun and full of energy.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's how I'll finish my road trip is I'll be down in Arizona for like a month as the granny nanny, PlayStation. And,
That's nice.
Yeah. Jungle gym.
Yeah. We always, my wife and I, we always enjoy it when the
Yeah.
grandparents come into town,
Yeah.
especially G-Ma and my mom and dad. And
Right.
yeah, they
Yeah.
just love it. They just love hanging out with my daughter and my
Yeah.
son. So
It's precious.
it's a good time. Yeah. Well, let's get into some hot takes
Okay.
and some rapid fire. You game for this thing?
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna, yeah. Let's see what
Niche.
you got.
We doing it this time, bud? Or are you passing?
I'm going to pass again. My sinuses get weird this time of year.
Boom.
Okay.
So these things here we'll cheers it before we do it. But you know the drill. Just crack them in the middle,
Okay.
little pop,
Okay.
and then waft it.
Waft it. Don't
Waft it.
sniff
Waft it. Okay. So for effect, let's hold it right up there.
Oh.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Woo!
Oh, yay.
Ah. Go.
I don't remember those smelling that.
This one burns. Oh.
Are you sure it's smelling salt?
Yeah, that one was more intense than with Jack. Oh,
Oh.
there's the graveyard right there. Sweet.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So
Okay.
what was that we just did?
Oh, the good old run through a wall smelling salts. Shout out Baumel and Chris Grenier, Gren Diesel, for coming up with that stuff. Woo. Hockey players love them.
Oh, is that okay?
Yep.
Good to know. Good to know.
Before you hit the line, you got to pop a salt.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Keep you on your A game, huh?
Yeah, it's a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, I think if you had made Ryan do this, our audio would start getting messed up. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Did you call me Ryan again?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I
Josh.
think someone owes me a case of
I
liquid
know.
death.
I owe you another.
Nice.
It's literally, it's all these snowboarding talk. I do. I owe you 2 cases now.
Yeah.
I think so.
Hot Takes is sponsored by Ski Shack. Ski Shack has been local, family owned and operated since 1976. Go in there today and get yourself dialed, whether it's on a board or skis. Ski Shack has what you need. And visit them at 9437 North Government Way in Hayden, Idaho, and get yourself dialed out.
All right. So let's start out with some Schweitzer hot takes.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite run at Schweitzer?
Ooh, I would have to say Debbie Sue or Loophole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Favorite place to grab a beer and some food?
Oh, well, that's got to be Poochie's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get some of those. What are they? Tachos, Idaho nachos.
Yeah, those are so good.
Yeah.
But you got to
yeah.
put the pork on the barbecue pork on it.
Yeah. Shout out Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Aaron. Aaron, I'm coming from my mug club this year, dude. Charity, you got a mug?
I don't have a mug.
What?
But one of my favorite things to do downtown is to race to Utara on the $2 Tuesday nights.
Oh, nice.
And they have Schweitzer mugs down there. So if you're an employee, And you get there before the
Oh,
other
yeah. I've done that.
employees,
Yeah.
right?
When I used to drink.
Right.
Oh man,
so-
we've had some homies work there, like Stash
right.
and Ellen.
Yeah.
Ellen worked at Utah for a
Yeah.
little bit, so and that was cool seeing her out with her son
Yeah.
the other day when I was up there and
Yeah.
ran
Little
into you guys.
Morgan.
Little
Yeah.
Morgan, yeah.
Saw her on skis. It was weird.
Yeah, it is
Right.
weird.
Yeah. Multidisciplined.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What's your favorite event up at Schweitzer? Because we got quite a few now.
Yeah, we do. You know, I don't know. I think it would just have to be as we follow some of our favorite bands that pop in there. Maybe not
Nice.
necessarily an event, but the Rub is always one of the favorite bands. So I love it when they're there. You know, you can count on a lot of friends that'll just show up.
I was at the Dougie Fresh Bank Solemn at
Okay,
Silver
yeah.
Mountain, and Jam Shack played the ski bum prom.
Right. Okay.
So Jam Shack, shout out Jam Shack.
Nice.
That's always a good time.
Ski bum prom.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool. After the Bank Solemn race, everyone kind of changes. They actually bring up their outfits, but everyone's dressed in like 80s
Right.
ski attire. I think the girl that won, she was actually rocking like a bright colored old prom dress
Wow.
from high school, and then Jer was the other guy that won, and he was actually the MC at the start, and he's one of the heavily involved people for the entire Dougie Fresh, and he was wearing like jean cutoff shorts, like really really high,
Right.
and a bandana, and like a I don't even know, like a Def Leppard like black t-shirt, like fully cut off at the sleeves and all this stuff, and just like
So like full in 80s.
yeah, full aviator sunglasses and cowboy boots, and I was like, oh yeah. So everyone dresses up for that thing. It's a good time.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
We should do that. We should incorporate that.
But yeah,
Schweitzer.
But yeah, live bands at Taps. That's always
Yeah.
been a fun time
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, we got some cool events coming up
Yeah.
too. There's a Bank Solemn this weekend,
Yeah.
and then the 40 year, like I said, at Poochie's, which I'm.
Yeah.
Are you up at Schweitzer this weekend?
Yeah. We're I'll be up there this weekend.
So yeah, you'll see the party at Poochie's.
Right.
It'll be going down. So
Yeah.
out on the deck. Hopefully it's good weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things we've done recently, as far as like an official event, is we've had memorial runs. You know, we've had some of our older ski instructors pass away,
Yep.
and some of us younger ones. Well, you guys are younger than me, but as we've come on staff, we've gotten connected to them, right? So we have Howard's memorial coming
Yep.
up, and you know, some of these seasoned instructors have been our mentors.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's been interesting.
Speaking of, I haven't heard in a long time, but how's Wild Bill doing?
Well, I think he's doing well. He's been up skiing a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He was always my favorite guy to chat with.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. And then let's go with like, you know, you're not just a Schweitzer, you're Sandpoint local.
Right.
What's your favorite spot to grab some food in Sandpoint proper?
Oh, yeah. Well, our Ike Hearts is one of the favorites. I also like to just dip over there to Ponderay Winery.
Okay.
You know, they have some nice little bites and, of course, wine. Yeah, so you'll find me at one of those two places usually. Yeah.
What's your favorite season in our area?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I have to say the winter, and it's not just for the love of skiing. But yeah, I see more of my friends, you know, being up there in the locker room. I see more of my friends during that time, during that season than I do in the off season. Yeah. And I'm also traveling less too. So that makes sense. Yeah. But just being able to be outdoors in the winter and see friends and then hang out by a fireplace and drink a beer or wine. And yeah, it's just cozy. It's all the things.
I always love the spring vibes, you know, in those sunny days before closing up at Schweitzer and getting out there, and you know, it's kind of calmed down, and a lot of people are done working, but you still have some weeks left in the season, and go like Josh and Sam and I, we usually would, you know, back in the day we would go build a jump somewhere,
Yeah.
or quarter pipe, or a little booter, and go session and just get into, the love of, being out there on the hill with your
Yeah.
homies. So
Yeah, it
very cool.
is. Yeah. Being out there and venturing.
yep,
Yeah.
definitely. Okay.
Guys, Let's Talk Snowboarding is presented by Mountain Vibes. And Mountain Vibes was started in February 2016 by our CEO and founder, Justin Desmond. With the input of close friends, Mountain Vibes officially went live November 1st of 2017, and Justin runs it with the help of Mountain Vibes co-owner Emily Sorger and our core team. When Justin created Mountain Vibes, his objective was not only to create a snowboarding company, but also a family where passion and the love of snowboarding outweighed years of experience and where judgment is not tolerated. We don't like the cool guys at Mountain Vibes. Everyone should be included in Mountain Vibes. Passion of snowboarding is what brings us all together and makes us a family. Along with creating a snowboarding family, Quality Snowboarding Apparel, we are a nonprofit with an outreach program called Good Vibes and High Fives, where we take less fortunate kids out to snowboard. And I want you to check out our website, mountainvibes.com with a Z, and see what we're all about. We have everything from the charity to the apparel, and we're stoked that Mountain Vibes has presented Let's Talk Snowboarding over these last, 2 years. So thank you to Mountain Vibes.
So, getting away from Schweitzer and Sandpoint, what is your number one bucket list trip that you want to go on for a backcountry powder day?
Oh gosh. Well, I'd have to say definitely Alaska.
Okay.
I'm not well adversed. I don't even know, like, that whole world hasn't really opened up to me yet. I haven't done a lot of research. I haven't been able to listen to all the stories from my friends. So there's so much out there that I don't know about in that kind of a traverse and adventure. But I would probably have to say Alaska.
Okay.
Yeah, to be able to experience that a little bit more
Okay.
in the snow.
What's been your best day of riding?
My best day of riding.
Yeah. Do you have one that sticks out in your mind?
Like an actual day or just a type of, one of the best stories and day is when it really hit me what we do as instructors, what we're actually giving. Even I know we're getting paid. We love this. We do it because we love it. But one of the biggest memories that I have, best memories that I have was during Christmas, probably about 5-6 years ago. And I was coaching. I was doing it was our Christmas program. We had a specific, like a 2-week Christmas package just for kids. And, the kids were going around talking about what they were getting for Christmas. It probably was like Christmas Eve, like the actual day. And one of the kids was like, he literally said, "You are my Christmas present." And it just kind of hit me. It was like one of those days, and we finished skiing around and coaching. And it was just, wow, that really hit me. It just stuck in my mind. Like, I'm actually giving more than I thought I was giving more of a gift, helping bring this alive for somebody and making their trip memorable. Yeah, so that would probably have to be one of my biggest, most favorite memories
Okay.
of a ski day.
Very cool. Very cool. What's, I asked this, what's the worst trend in snowboarding? But for skiing, what's like the worst trend out there that you see?
The worst trend? Well, are we talking about like Jerry of the Day type of stuff?
Stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. It could be like the turtle butt
Right. Oh
things,
my gosh.
or just hate in general is one that I've always said. It was like, I just like everyone should be having fun together. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I think my worst trend that I've seen is when people take they're getting ready at the car, right? And they just want to put their ski boots on, but they don't want to take their regular shoes in with them. and they don't want to walk all that way in their ski boot. So they take their ski liner out, and I'm not kidding you, and they'll walk the whole distance in the muddy parking lot and all the things on the sidewalk all the way to the snow in just their ski liner.
That's interesting.
I know. I know. I think that's got to be one of my biggest pet peeves
Yeah.
is like, just put your boots on,
Yeah.
you know?
People not racking their skis or snowboards
Yeah.
irks me too. They just leave them on the ground in
Yeah.
the village.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what is that?
It's not cool.
No.
Yeah.
It's literally so easy.
Yeah. For
You
sure.
find a spot anywhere. Come on.
Right. Right.
Well, cool. So some rapid fire for you.
Okay.
Okay. Goggles or glasses?
Oh, goggles.
Okay. Pow or slush?
Oh, powder.
Okay. So I'm not too well versed. Let's go mittens or gloves?
Ooh, I do mittens.
Nice.
Yeah. Leather.
Nice. Kinko's?
No, I don't know what brand mine are. I should know. Just some fun yin yang.
Nice.
One
Okay.
black, one white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Pants or bibs?
Pants.
Okay.
I want to be a bib person, but I haven't found the right ones.
Yeah. 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 Okay. As far as ski boots, are you click downers or do you have a BOA system in your boots?
I still have buckles.
Buckles.
Yeah, I don't have BOA system yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've
but-
seen that they've started to integrate
know.
that in, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
very interesting.
You like your fat skis or more of a narrow ski?
Gosh, I love my fat skis, but my all mountains, my teaching skis, they're 93 underfoot, so I guess they're still kind of considered fat.
Okay.
Yeah, all mountain,
Nice.
93.
Favorite summer activity in North Idaho?
Oh, I love biking, hiking. Well, I do a lot of kayaking, hiking, and biking. So I guess kayaking.
Are you mountain biking or cycling?
Yeah, I picked up mountain biking again, which is something
Cool.
I did when I was younger, and so I've been trying to get back into it.
I just got a mountain bike,
Yeah,
so I'm excited to
Yeah.
get it out onto some roads and some trails and stuff. It'll be fun.
yeah, it's been fun. I think I've
Been
already
picking Marty's brain on
right.
what I need to do and trying to
Yeah.
schedule a date with him this summer. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, he's a good resource.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just smart about everything. so.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Okay,
For
and
sure.
favorite desert activity when you're down in Arizona?
Oh, definitely hiking. Yeah, I would get up early. We would hike. It's really cool, especially if you can plan your hiking around flash floods.
Yeah,
You'll literally see waterfalls in the desert.
very cool.
So yeah, I've hiked out there in the superstitions.
What's your
Usually-
favorite? What's your favorite hike down there in the Phoenix area?
It would probably have to be the Flatiron in the Superstition Mountains.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
making the time and joining us today, Charity.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you want to mention anybody, shout anybody out, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
Yeah. Gosh, I would just have to say a shout out to all those mentors and women in my life that have really helped me, like Deborah and Manuela and Beth and Shauna and Mary Jo Knowles and Natalie and Tina. I mean, there's just so many of the ladies out there, and it definitely takes, us men and women, we learn differently. So it's been nice to have women in industry that is, majority male industry. To teach and mentor with. So yeah, shout out to all those guys, Kim as well.
Excellent. All right, awesome. All right, that's been another episode of Let's Talk Skiing.
Yeah.
Charity. Thanks to Josh for producing, and we're going to catch you guys on the next one. Later.
Thanks.